Welcome back to Brent's Hang. I'm Brent Barnett. This is another episode in our ongoing Nothing But Options series where I'm going to show you a variety of different ways on how Gibraltar Hardware can help you customize your kit. Option D, ladies and gentlemen, is where we start getting into the rack world. Option D is the Stealth Rack GSVMS-KIT and the Side Stealth Rack, the GSVMS. Now, as you can see, the cymbal configuration is exactly the same, but how I got there is completely different. Now, the reason I chose the Stealth Rack for this particular setup is because there's a lot of you players out there that don't actually like using racks. You don't want to bar over the bass drum, but you like the benefits that racks give you. Clean floor space, quick setup and teardown time, plus the Stealth Rack has another benefit. It's low to the ground, so it doesn't look like you're playing a rack necessarily. Let's jump in and see what I did. So the Stealth Rack, the vertical mounting system, is combining my cymbal, rack tom, and snare all into one unit. This is what's supporting my core. This is my core right here. Now, in order to mount these other two cymbals on my left-hand side, I had to add a 24-inch curved wing. Because I didn't want anything touching the ground. I wanted it to be free. Now, if you look at the China, there's an interesting thing that I did. You'll notice that it's a longer boom arm than normal. Well, this is the no-leg cymbal stand, and it's designed for instances like this when you've got a low bar that you're mounting, but you still need to mount the cymbal very high. Now, what's great about this cymbal stand, or cymbal boom, no-leg cymbal boom, is that for added support, if you need added support for the wing, you can always lower it all the way to the ground, and it can become another stabilizer foot, and you can still raise it to the height that you need. Now, for my extra crash on the left-hand side, all I used was a standard long boom to place it exactly where I wanted to. Now the whole left side is taken care of, and there's nothing on the floor except for the original T-leg of the Stealth Rack. So on the right side, I'm using the side rack, the Stealth side rack, to mount everything. I've got my ride cymbal coming out of the front T-leg to make it very strong, very supported. My main crash is mounted off of the horizontal bar, and my extra crash is mounted off the horizontal bar as well. Now my China is mounted out of the back T-leg. Now this whole unit is easy to pick up with one person. Just move it off the stage, done. For those of you that are looking to clean up the floor space even more, we've got the legless hi-hat stand option. Now, what I did was I connected the hi-hat stand directly to the curved wing that I have coming off the Stealth Rack. Now this is the wing that's holding all of my cymbals over here. And I used the SC-EA100, which is an extension arm with an adjustable clamp mechanism on the end. Bada bing, bada boom. You've got the clean floor. The hi-hat stand is rock solid. Option E is actually option B with the Stealth Rack just raked right through. If you remember what option B was, it was the single tom stand with the cymbal stand combined. All I did on this one was just remove the tom stand and throw the Stealth Rack in its place. Now, the reason I did this is because there are a lot of you players out there that have cymbal stands and you want to continue to use them. You like what the Stealth Rack has to offer, but maybe you don't like the side Stealth Rack. You want to keep using your cymbal stands. So why not? This is option E1. It's the Stealth Rack combined with cymbal stands, but this one's got a twist. Instead of having the rack tom mounted to a tom arm, this one's mounted to a snare basket. This is the GSVMS-DS. I kept the cymbal configuration exactly the same as I have in the other setups, but instead of using all these crazy cymbal attachments, I just chose to use plain cymbal stands. Why did I do the configuration this way? Because there's a lot of you guys out there that love to play your rack tom on a snare basket, but you like the function of the Stealth Rack. Now this version of the Stealth Rack has a shorter leg, which allows a lower positioning of the rack tom. To clean up the clutter around the rack tom, I used the excess of the connector bar to attach a no-leg cymbal stand to. Oops, I did it again. I combined some stuff, which I tend to do, but it's kind of fun. Wait a minute, didn't Rihanna or Kelly Clarkson write a song about that? I don't know. What do I know about metal anyways? What I did was I took option C, which was the triple tom stand configuration, and I combined it with the Stealth Rack to create option F. You guys able to follow this so far? I hope I didn't lose you. I kept the cymbal configuration the exact same as I did at all the other previous configurations. Now, why did I do this? Because there are a lot of you guys out there that like to be able to mount 3 things to one stand, and you also like the benefit that the stealth rack provides. There were a couple little changes that I had to make with this, so let's get into it. So let's talk about this from the ground up. What you're seeing here is the base unit of the stealth rack. This can be purchased without the tom mount. It's the GSVMS. The benefit to using this is that you can use your own tom mount to put in there if you want, or you can use one of ours. What I chose to do was use the SC APM triple platform adjustable mount. This is the mount that I used on the 9613 PM in the previous configuration. I wanted to be able to mount 3 items onto the stealth rack. Right side is easy sleazy. I mean, easy peasy. That's right, isn't it? I used the 9613 PM stand as I did on option C to mount my 2 crashes and my ride cymbal. Then my China has its own stand. Option G uses the stealth side rack, the GSVMS, 2 of them. Now I use the exact same cymbal configuration as through all the other setups. Now the reason that I used these 2 side racks was because there's a lot of you out there that like the function of a rack, but you don't necessarily want a bar over the bass drum. You want to have the clean floor space. You want the quick setup and teardown time. You want to be able to move the entire unit off the stage at once without having to carry individual stands off the stage. It's fast, it's effective, it gets the job done. The other thing about this setup is that when you're starting to use this many cymbals, it's a lot less weight than using stands. Here's how I attached all this stuff. Let's start with the core. I got my rack tom here using a single tom holder mounted out of the front T-leg. And I've got my crash cymbal mounted to the back of the single tom holder. My China is actually mounted to a no-leg cymbal stand because I needed extra height. I'm a tall guy and I sit really high, so I needed a little bit more height than our long boom arms would give me. So I used that one. Now I've got my extra crash on the left side here mounted out of the back T-leg using our standard long boom. Before we move on, I need to show you guys something. I want you to completely grasp the coolness that this stand has. It can go really high. Nope, still not high enough. That's freaking high. I'm 6'2", I ain't no hobbit. For my right side, I mounted my ride cymbal right out of the front T-leg. I got it tucked in there in my favorite little comfortable spot. I've got the main crash mounted right off the horizontal bar, my other crash mounted off the horizontal bar, and then my China mounted right out of the back T-leg, all in very convenient places. So for those of you that actually like the legless option, want to clean up the floor space a little more, we have a legless snare stand attached to the front of the rack using the stealth bent bar. It's great for going over double pedals. And we've got a legless hi-hat stand attached to the side rack as well. This is great for allowing yourself more room for a double pedal as well. And I introduce to you option H. 2 custom curved side racks, 20-inch verticals, 46-inch curved horizontals, same exact cymbal configuration. Who would have thought? This is for you players that love racks. You love the function of the rack. You love making the statement saying, I play a rack. You love being able to add more stuff onto your rig. Let's go over exactly how I did it. So on the left side here, we have the rack tom attached to a single tom mount that's mounted directly into the front leg. Now the front leg becomes the tom stand, which we've seen in a number of other racks. Now my 3 cymbals are mounted directly to the crossbar. Now you see that I have plenty of space right here that I can start expanding. I can start adding more stuff to the rack whenever I need to. Plus this back leg also opens the option to mount electronics here or mount another stand here if I want to. Now the benefit of using a long curved bar for the curved side rack instead of a straight bar for a longer side rack is that you can keep the footprint of the rack a little smaller. Imagine if you took this particular T-leg and you drew a straight line directly to the front leg. you're gonna cut off about 6 inches of space right here that you have, which means your cymbals are gonna be jammed up right next to you, and in order to play them comfortably, you're gonna have to swing the wing out a little bit further. So then it takes up much more space. With a curved bar, I'm able to pull the legs in a little closer, but still keep that comfortable distance for my cymbals. For my right side, I've got the ride cymbal mounted right out of the front T-leg. I've got my crash, crash, and China all mounted to the curved horizontal bar. I have plenty of space to add more stuff whenever I want. Plus, this back leg can turn into another stand if I want to also. So those of you that want to take this floor space thing up to the next level, we've got the legless snare stand option and the legless hi-hat stand option. Damn, I'm exhausted. That was a lot. Those of you that stuck with me through the whole video, you're amazing, you're a trooper. I applaud you. That concludes our episode on One Up, One Down. I just showed you guys 9 different scenarios, 9 different variations of what's possible that you can do with this stuff. There are many, many, many more though. I just hope that I inspired you. So, why don't you let me know what you're doing?